Hello, and thank you for joining us for ABC24 This Week. I am your host, Pepper Baker, and you are here for the real stories behind the big stories, and I hope you'll continue to watch every Sunday. We got a lot in store for today, so let's introduce our panelists. Of course, we have ABC24 political analyst Otis Sanford. We have former Memphis City Council Chair and Shelby County Schools Board member Scott McCormick, and pastor of First Baptist Church Broad, Keith Norman. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
This is going to be a good one today already. I already know it. Now, this whole show is dedicated to the Memphis Safe Task Force, which includes the National Guard deployment, because it was a big week for the city, making national news. So first, we'll talk about the White House officials visiting Memphis for the first time since the task force announcement. Then we'll discuss the communication breakdown between federal officials to the local leaders, and then how that gets to you, who is in the know and who's not. And then lastly, what we do and don't know about the plan. Did we get any specifics from the federal officials' visit? All right, so back to number one. Attorney General Pam Bondi, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, and Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller came to Memphis on Wednesday. Their plane landed, just before 3 p.m. at Memphis International Airport. Now, their motorcade went straight to the command center near the Penal Farm area by Shelby Farms, where the Memphis Safe Task Force operations are set up. They were accompanied by Governor Bill Lee on that tour. Now, all three spoke passionately about supporting law enforcement and sending a stern warning to criminals or anyone threatening officers that they will face consequences. Here's some of what they said.
If you touch a law enforcement officer, it is a crime and you are going to jail. We are arresting anyone who touches any of you. If you touch a federal officer, it's going to be assault on a federal officer, and we have our U.S. attorney here. And to all of you state and local officers, let's see what your DA does, because he better prosecute crimes against you, because we have your backs.
We're not here to second guess you. We're here to have your back, to unleash you to do your job so you come home safely. Our department is here to enable you, law enforcement, to do your job, to help protect your facilities, help protect your people so that your hands can be untied.
The idea that there is a square inch of block in this city where a citizen doesn't feel safe is unacceptable. This is Memphis. This is the United States of America, and all that is done. It's over. It's finished.
So as you can see, Miller using strong words to make his point there. The visit was only for a few hours. They left for the airport shortly after their tour of the command center. Lastly, I want to talk about a post on the platform formerly known as Twitter. The Attorney General stated, in just 72 hours, our Memphis Safe Task Force is making an incredible impact in this iconic American city. Yesterday, 40 arrests were made, including a Tren de Agua terrorist, a felon in possession of a firearm, a man waited for rape of a child, and arrested for assault in a federal officer. Now, to date, there have been 93 arrests and 28 illegal guns seized. Our work is saving lives. My message to law enforcement is simple. We have your back. Otis, I'm going to open it up to you. I like when you start us off here. A lot to unpack there, but your initial thoughts about the White House officials visiting Memphis.
Well, first, let's be honest here. There are a lot of people in Memphis who will support this, and they come from all segments of the community, because the belief is that if you're getting dangerous people off the streets, that's a good thing. So they have some support. But having said that, I have my concerns are just multifaceted here. First of all, you have three people, especially two of them, have zero credibility in my book. You have Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense. I'm still calling it Defense because it has not been changed, except with a fiat by the president. He has no credibility. Stephen Miller has no involvement with law enforcement. He knows nothing about it. This was a political show, and it sounded like a political show, all to appease the president. And this was just, photo op 101. They talked tough. They came to town, and not a lot of people knew about it, and we'll talk about that later. But I just think that in terms of any real emphasis on public safety, really on public safety, they didn't show it. Now, I'm not saying that the people here won't show it, but they did not show it. They came here for a political photo op, and that was it.
Scott, I want to toss it to you now.
Ooh, I have to follow that.
Yes, you do. Because I'm just curious, do you feel like they did enough to convince the public that this will be collaborative and this is in their best interest?
I think it was a huge statement for them to come down and talk to Memphis. The last show that I was on, we discussed about when we knew that GARD was coming, and your wish was, Otis, that you wanted the governor to come speak to us.
And he did.
And you got your wish.
Yeah,
the governor
he
has
did.
come, and this is the second time that he's come. And now we have representatives from the White House who were speaking to us, but they were also speaking to the officers who are going to be involved in this to say, and to assure them that we have your back. We're going to let cops be cops, I think was A.G. Bondi's statement. And I think that's an important statement to come down and make, regardless of if you think they're credible or not. The White House decided, I don't think that they made visits like that in Washington. Of course, they're based in Washington. I haven't seen where they've gone to some of the other cities, Portland or New Orleans, that's on,
LA.
And in LA, they certainly didn't go out to LA. So they came to Memphis, and they're saying, we're going to tackle the crime issues that you have, and we're fully behind this, and we're going to support and provide the resources to do this.
All right, so Keith, I want to talk about some of the words that were used. I mean, obviously, Miller used that expletive a little bit, so passionate there. But a lot of people online did not resonate with the unleashing that Hegseth said about all the resources. We're going to let you unleash and do your job. What did you think about, people who may be worried about infringement on their rights?
So in a city where we are under DOJ, or should have been under DOJ observation, to say that you're going to let police be police and let cops be cops, that's a negative. I think we had a lot of disrespect and disregard for the people of Memphis. We used inflammatory rhetoric. We used words that were not necessary and a tone that was not necessary to get the point across. Okay, if we're accepting of the fact that the GARD is now here, let's go ahead and get the job done. But you're bringing people into an area who have no experience with the citizens here. And my concern is that if you say to them, everybody's bad, we're going to protect you, go do your job, you are setting the stage for a very combative type environment. We don't need that. What we need to do is that let the law-abiding people in Memphis go forward with their lives, and if there are people out there that are going to disrespect the law, handle those people as citizens, arrest them, and do what we need to do. But I think the tone was terrible yesterday. We didn't see any local leadership there. We want people to communicate with our elected officials because we elected them so that they will tell us what we are supposed to do and how to, comply. We heard from Bondi, we heard from Hegseth, Miller. I turned Miller off, to be perfectly honest with you, because, if someone is standing there cursing at me and you're talking to me like that, I disregard you in public. So if you do it on television, I click the channel. That's just not necessary.
Okay, you talk about tone. A lot of it was, to me, a warning to criminals, and there was a little bit of language in there that if you are a law-abiding citizen, you shouldn't be worried. That's a fine line to you, though?
That's a very fine line, but when you say let cops be cops, what does that mean?
Right.
This sounds like dog whistle language from the White House again to me. I mean, they came and they carried the playbook. I'm simply saying let's not inflame the rhetoric at this point. Let's not ramp things up. Let's de-escalate. Let's tell people this is how we need to be in compliance. Officers, here's what we need you to do. Respect the citizens and also approach them with some regard. If you see a bad guy, you have to do what you have to do. But you don't know these people. You're bringing people into this area and you don't know them at all.
And to another point here, all of this is within the context of the president saying just a day earlier at that unbelievable meeting with all of the military officials, saying, let's use the military, let's use these cities as training ground for the military. I mean, what kind of message is that sending when you now are in Memphis? I mean, is the belief that we're going to bring in the military and let them practice on whatever they do militarily with the real enemies, use them here in Memphis? That's the fear here. Hey, look, I'm not trying to say that we don't have a crime problem.
Right.
We do. Everybody knows that.
We know that.
But to let cops be cops, use Memphis as a training ground for the military, all of that is just out of bounds and over the top.
To plant in the mind of people who walk in the door, drop you off in a city, this is the worst city in America. What type of vitriol is that to put into officers when they're policing an area?
Scott, I'd love you to take the last word.
Yeah, I think, well, the facts are we are one of the worst, if not the worst city in America when it comes to crime. And crime has been a problem for the last 20 years, as far as I'm concerned. And I think it's time that we do something different, that we bring in resources to tackle this issue. You say resources. I think you were in a position to do that twice in your career. The divestments that have taken place in the city of Memphis, from Memphis and in another area where you served in education, do not reflect that all of a sudden we want to invest. It shows that we took money away. I didn't take any money away. I wasn't a part of taking money away. I supported the police department, and in education, I supported the efforts that we had. Where we are now is as a result of divesting in this city for years, leading to the poverty and leading to the long-term systemic issues that we have. For the governor to come in and say, here's $100 million, that was like saying, we know we haven't invested. But we don't even know what we're going to do with that money. That's not positions that I held. And how can you say we're de-investing? When I was on the council now 20 years ago, our city budget was $380 million, and now it's $850, almost $900 million. Now, we've been growing, and the city grows, and but I did not. The budget is based on tax returns and tax dollars.
You got to let him finish because we give you your time.
Yeah. I did not participate in defunding of the city. I encouraged investment in the city. I may have questioned some of the priorities of where we were spending money, and I was always in favor of backing the police department and giving them all the resources that we need. And when I was there, we were at a full complement of police officers.
I think that's when you all cut the pension.
What does it mean?
I was not there when I cut.
Otis got to finish this.
Well, I just want to ask succinctly, what does it mean to say less cops be cops? What does that mean to you?
What it means to me is, and a lot of things that I've seen on social media, when officers are trying to arrest people and they're being attacked by citizens, and I haven't seen it here locally.
That is not happening.
No.
That is not happening.
Okay. Let cops be cops too. I have seen locally here where these guys in their cars doing donuts. I saw one at Union and Pauling. And wait a minute. You're not letting me.
Last word, because we have so much to get to.
But the cops don't even bother to respond to that because they know that they're not being supported.
Okay, on that note, wow, great first segment. But we are going to talk more about the people who were not present for that tour and elected leaders, local leaders, who can speak a little bit more to how they hope that this deployment and task force will work in the best interest of Memphians. We'll be right back.